Facebook Live. Thanks so much for joining us. We're at Pac-12 Media Day, joined right now by the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal, David Shaw. His 12th season, coach, as the head coach down on the farm. Thank you so much for joining us. Does it seem like 12 years?
It really doesn't.
It really doesn't.
Really
It's gone really fast,
especially those
early years. There's a lot of wins, a lot of Rose Bowls, etc.
But
Stanford's such a great place with so many great people.
I
enjoy doing what I do every day, and I just kind of looked up the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been 12 years.
All right. You're kind of one of the teams now, right? Been around this conference. This conference has gone through so many ups and downs. And, today is crazy with all the realignment talk. What do you think the strength of our conference is?
The strength of
our conference has always been two things for me. Number one, the educational opportunities are better in our conference than in other places, as an entire conference. And it's a lot more difficult than people give it credit for. With the variance in offenses and defenses, we are more difficult to win games top to bottom than any other conference in the country. Our middle is closer to our top. Our bottom is close to our middle. So there are no gimmies anywhere in our conference. Any team can beat any team, and you've seen a lot of those upsets happen here that don't really happen in other conferences because this conference is so competitive.
Is that good or bad for our conference? Because we want to get into the college football playoff. I look at some of your great Stanford teams. You're cruising along. We're like, all right, Stanford's headed to the Rose Bowl, and you take on Oregon State, and they bite one of our top teams. And all of a sudden, it just seems like we cannibalize ourselves more than any other conference that I see.
There's no question about it. I think we made a critical decision years ago to play 9 conference games instead of 8, and I think that's been a big part of it. That the SEC has continued to maintain the 8 conference games, so they can splice in those bye weeks and those lesser non-conference games late in the season. Whereas our conference, we're playing 9 conference games, a tough out-of-conference schedule, and typically we're playing the out-of-conference schedule early and then playing 8 or 9 conference games in a row, and the other conferences haven't done that. So yes, that does happen. We did it to Oregon one year. Oregon did it to us. Washington did it to somebody. It's been done to USC also, where you're cruising along. Washington State did it to USC. You're cruising along. USC's playing great, and they play a late night game up in the Palouse and get beat. So that's also part of the thing I think makes it special about our conference, is that every single week we just have to bring it.
I look at what the Stanford Cardinal football is all about, and here's interesting. So I think I told you last year, I lived in Palo Alto for a little while, so I know where Sticky's is across and where the market is across the street from the stadium, and I've gone to Cardinal games as a kid growing up. And I look at your schedule, and I wonder, I mean, Coach, here's the schedule. We're going to start with Colgate, then you have USC at home, Washington, Oregon, three horrific games on the schedule. Oregon State, I am not going to sleep on Oregon State. I think Coach Smith has got something really special going into his 5th year. Then that's not enough. You got Notre Dame on your schedule in South Bend. You finish off the season with Utah, Cal, and then I think another team that people should not sleep on is BYU. That's a heck of a schedule. That's a heck of a schedule for you.
It's brutal, and at the same time, if you want to be great and you can traverse a schedule like that, strength of schedule-wise, we'll be a top 15 team. We can do a good job of our abilities and handle those tough games week after week. I mean, minimum, we'll be a top 15 team, if not higher.
Let's talk about your team, because as I look through your team, you've got some players, you've got some ballers, and you've got some guys that could be, position by position, some of the best in the Pac-12. What's going to be the strength of the team?
When you look at our team right now, it's kind of hard not to say that our passing game is going to be pretty prolific. We've got a quarterback who's got a chance to be, in my opinion, a first-round draft pick. You've got 3 receivers that are NFL caliber receivers, 2 of which could have gone pro last year, and Michael Wilson could have gone pro, probably would have been a top 3, top 4-round guy. Elijah Higgins, 6'3", 235-pound beast who runs 4.4. He could have gone pro last year. He came back. Bryson Tremaine was on a tear last year, and he got hurt. And now he came back. So we have 3 NFL guys, an NFL caliber tight end, a budding superstar running back, and we think one of the top quarterbacks in America. So that offensive group, I think, is going to be a true strength for us. And I love where we are on the defensive side. Caillou Kelly's got a chance to be special. I think he's the best corner in our conference. He'll be one of the better ones in America, and a great experience at our linebacking core. So I think it's a fun group to watch.
I watched Tanner walk through, and I saw him a little bit yesterday. He just has that swagger. He just looks like a quarterback. Like if you went to Central Send me somebody who's going to play a quarterback in a movie.
Absolutely. Like I said, 6'6", he's 235. Quick release, strong arm, great kid, really smart. And fired up now to have this kind of year with those kind of weapons.
Running backs. I mean, Stanford's been known as a running school. How are you going to stack up running back wise, position depth, and will that be a big part of the offense this year?
Absolutely. E.J. Smith had a great offseason. Right when he was taken off last year, he got hurt and missed a couple games, missed about a month of the season. E.J. is one of those guys. You know, if he was a baseball player, he'd be a 5-tool guy. He's quick, he's explosive, he's physical, he's great between the tackles, he's got the speed to finish the long runs, but he's also a guy who can flex out and play receiver. He played receiver before he played running back. He's got natural hands, he can run all the routes the receivers run. This is a versatile guy that could help us in the return game as well. So we think this is going to be a breakout year for EJ.
Let's talk defensive side of the ball. A little different look to you defensively. What's going to be some of the changes the Cardinal fan are going to see this year?
Well, we had a rough year last year. Couldn't stop anybody up to our standards. So making the switch to a 4-down line. I think what you'll see from our team once again, Caillou Kelly is going to be one of the top corners in America. We've got an outstanding linebacker core that just was never healthy last year. We've got great tacklers. We've got explosive guys that can rush the passer. So I think we've got a great group of linebackers, an experienced secondary, and a bunch of guys that can be great playmakers on the defensive side.
One last thing. And the whole realignment thing, and I was just talking with the commissioner about this. With the changes that we're going to have in this conference, how does this affect recruiting? How are we going to make sure that we keep a footprint with the Trinity League and all those San Diego schools and up through the Valley? What do you think is going to happen to us a couple years down the line?
Well, I mean, to think selfishly, right? To not even think about the conference, but to think about Stanford. Nothing's changed for us. We're still going to recruit the way that we recruit. We're still going to get the guys that are looking for what we have on our campus. Because if they're looking for what we have, there's really not much competition for us out there. We can out-recruit anybody if the young man has a high aspiration to do something academically and is a great football player and maybe wants to do something outside of football beyond their time in college. So for us, we're going to continue to recruit as we've seen over the last couple of years with all these things going on. Top 25 class last year. We'll be a top 25 class again this year. We've got a lot of guys that we believe are committing to us in the very near future. So we're doing really well.
One of my guys, I was the get-back coach at Cathedral Catholic, and you got Jackson Moy, who I know I was going back and forth with the family. They're just thrilled to see him at Stanford.
He may have a chance to play as a freshman, which may or may not happen. But we think in the long run, this guy's going to be a beast. He's got all the motors that you want. He's got quickness and explosion. He plays with that nasty attitude. In the coming years, he's going to be one of those guys that we point to. This is what Stanford football is all about.
One last thing, about 30 seconds, because they're going to take you to the next radio station. How does that affect Stanford? Is it the same as every other school?
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Our guys are doing really well NIL-wise. You don't hear about the gaudy things that are going on. A lot of our guys keep their things quiet. We don't use it as an enticement because that's against the rules, and some respects against the law because NIL is a law. So that stuff's going on around, but that doesn't affect us. Our guys are Stanford for the right reasons, and using their time at Stanford to leverage their opportunities is really what NIL is supposed to be about. So our guys are doing it well.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on with us again. I can root for Stanford all year long. You're not taking on the Arizona Wildcats, so we'll be watching you. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Jackson. I'm going to be watching Tanner just walk around like he's the next coming of the next great quarterback out of this conference, because I think he's got an opportunity to be something really, really special. Best of luck. Go win the Axe, and thank you so much for joining us.